Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video you are going to learn about the mechanism of respiration in human beings. Mechanism of respiration in human beings, and also you are going to learn about the composition of inhaled and exhaled air. What is the composition that we inhale air and what the exhaled air? Okay, clear? So let's get into the video. Now, mechanism of respiration in human beings. So the chest wall is made of ribs, muscles and skin. So the chest wall is present to protect our lungs. Okay, you can see in the picture there the chest wall is there. It is made up of ribs, muscles and skin. Okay, chest wall is made up of ribs, muscles and skin. Okay, now breathing involves inhaling and exhaling, that is inspiration and expiration. Okay, breathing involves two process. What are they? Inhaling and exhaling. Now what is inhalation? Taking in air through nostrils, mostly oxygen. Okay, taking in air through our nostrils, that is the mostly the oxygen we take. We need oxygen, right? So then what is exhalation? Breathing out air through nostrils. Even both are through the nostrils, but here taking in and breathing out, they are different. Okay, and in inhalation we find mostly oxygen, whereas in exhalation we find mostly carbon dioxide. Okay, now diaphragm helps the lungs in moving air into and out of them. So this diaphragm which is there, you can see the movement of diaphragm there. Okay, the diaphragm which is down, it represents the diaphragm. So it helps in lungs in moving air into and out of them. So air moves inside our body and comes out, right? It helps, the diaphragm helps the lungs in it. Okay, our lungs are spongy in nature. Our lungs are spongy in nature. How the sponge will be very soft. Even in the same way, our lungs are very spongy in nature. They are protected by two membranes. They have two membranes which protect them. They are called pleura. The two membranes are called pleura. Okay, now the fluid between these membranes protect lungs from injury. The fluid which is present in these membranes which are present, they protect lungs from injury. We have discussed two membranes, they are called pleura, and between those two membranes there is a fluid. Okay, that fluid, it protects lungs from injury. Any injury is occurring, they protect that lungs. Okay, clear till here? Now we shall see inhalation or exhalation. This inhalation or exhalation, these two are very important in the mechanism of this. If they ask in any question related to this, you need to write all the matter which I have given. Okay, now inhalation is also called inspiration. I have told you before, inhalation is also called as inspiration. Now chest wall moves up and expands. Okay, chest wall which is there, it moves up and expands when we breathe. So when we breathe, you can see the picture there. When we breathe, the chest wall comes up. That means it moves, it expands when we breathe in. Now after that, diaphragm contracts. Diaphragm which is there downwards, it contracts and flattens, or dome moves downward. Now actually diaphragm will be in dome shaped. You can see there it is moving down. The arrow mark downwards, it is shown there. Okay, that is a diaphragm. When we breathe in, it moves down. The lungs, the chest wall moves up. Okay, the internal pressure which is there, it decreases. Okay, when inhalation, chest wall increases or expands, and then diaphragm moves, flattens, and then the internal pressure decreases during inhalation. Okay, remember this. And then the tissue relax and expands, so that air goes inside the body. The tissues which are present, they relax. Okay, they relax and expand. Okay, they expand so that the air goes into the body. So you can see a picture there, air inhaled, and the rib cage. Okay, rib cage expands as rib muscles contract, and lung you can see, and the diaphragm coming downwards to form the flattened shape. And then the inhalation, diaphragm contracts, moves down. Okay, clear with the inhalation or inspiration? So now let's get into the other one, which is the expiration or exhalation. Okay, now exhalation or expiration. Now chest wall is lowered and moves inward, whereas in inspiration we have discussed chest wall is moving upwards, so that we can breathe in air, whereas here it is opposite. Now whatever the points you have seen for, that is opposite to the exhalation. Okay, now the diaphragm relaxes and forms dome shape, whereas there the dome shape comes down, whereas here it forms dome shape. And the internal pressure in inhalation, it decreases, whereas here it increases. Internal pressure increases here. Okay, now tissue contract, they relax there. There means you can understand the inhalation, tissue relaxes there, whereas here tissue contracts and squeezes air out. Now chest wall is lowered and moves inward, diaphragm relaxes and forms dome shape, internal pressure increases, tissue contracts and squeezes air out. Clear with this? And then you can see the picture there also. Exhaled air and rib cage gets similar as rib cage relax. Okay, rib muscles relax, and then the dome shape is formed. The arrow you can see it upward. The dome shape, the diaphragm is formed dome shape, and down in the box you can see exhalation. Diaphragm relaxes, moves up. Okay, clear with the mechanism? Clear with the mechanism of respiration in human beings? This is a very important question. Okay, you need to write the first what I have given the points, and then inhalation and exhalation. These 4 points are very important. Okay, about the chest wall you need to write, about the diaphragm you need to write, about the pressure, and then about the you need to write about the tissues. Okay, these 4 are main important points. So now let's see the composition of inhaled and exhaled air. So what is the composition of inhaled air and what is the composition of exhaled? That means how much air we take in separately we need to find here, and how much air we breathe out. So you need to find the difference there. Now the following table shows the composition of inhaled and exhaled air. Okay, you can say find the table there, and then let's see let's first see the table. Okay, now gas, percentage of inhaled air and percentage of exhaled air. So let's take the first is oxygen. Now oxygen is very important for our body. It is very useful for our body. So whereas we inhale 21% of oxygen, whereas we exhale 16% of oxygen. That means you can see the difference is 5%. That 5% is taken by our body. Okay, the 5% which is there, which is 21 which is present in our body, it will be remain in the body, and it will be useful for our body. So percentage of inhaled oxygen is 21%, exhaled is 16%, and 5% is being used. Okay, now let's get to the other gas, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide we take 0.03%. That means very less, right? 0.03% we inhale, and while exhaling it becomes 4.4%. You can find there, if we inhale more amount of gas and if we release few amount, you can understand that it is being used by our body. But whereas small amount is taken and large amount is released out, you can understand that it is not useful for our body. Okay, carbon dioxide is not useful for our body. Now the next gas is nitrogen. Okay, the percentage of inhaled air of nitrogen is 78%, whereas exhaled air is 78%. That means same amount, we take the same amount and we release the same amount. That means it is not used by our body in any purpose. Okay, it is not used by our body in any purpose. So you can get the doubt that is nitrogen not useful for our body? Yes, of course the nitrogen is useful for our body, but we cannot take nitrogen directly which is present in the air, because it is an inert gas, right? So you can see the points there, about the table you can see 3 points there continuously. Nitrogen is not taken by our body directly. It is not taken by our body directly. Okay, nitrogen, because nitrogen is an inert gas. As it is an inert gas, it is not useful for our body. Okay, even plants which are there, they need nitrogen. Okay, they need nitrogen, but they don't take nitrogen directly. So there is a nitrogen cycle, nitrogen fixation there. So even our body doesn't need nitrogen. So these are the composition of inhaled and exhaled air in our body. Okay, clear? So thank you for watching, and like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.